everyone. This is Mayor Morrissey, and I want to welcome you to the City of St. Mary's, Georgia's fiscal year 2021 budget public hearing. And we will run this for approximately 15 minutes, at which time we have to close out and redial in for a city council meeting. But before we do that, I would like City Clerk just to do a quick roll call, please, of the council members.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Jones, post 1.
I'm here.
Councilmember Goodman, post 2.
Present.
Councilmember Gant, post 3. Councilmember Riley, post 4.
Present.
Councilmember Rassi, post 5.
Present.
Councilmember Williams, post 6.
I'm present.
Mayor Morrissey.
I'm here.
Sir, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you very much, Deborah. And we should have our city manager, Mr. Horton.
I'm here, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right, so this is the fiscal year 2021 budget public hearing. And in the essence of practicing good cybersecurity based on the feedback we've received from supporting organizations for the cities, we have set up a protocol for our citizens to be able to access and to ask us questions. So we thank everyone for understanding why we have to follow this process, and we hope that it will be successful. I did also neglect to ask if Mr. Blackerby's on yet, or
I'm here.
all right. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. So I think our first registered citizen is Mr. Tom Canning. Mr. Canning, are you on?
I'm here.
Okay, sir. Yes, you have some questions for council.
Well, actually, I prepared a short statement. I didn't realize we were going to have a give and take on this, but City Council and staff, my name is Tom Canning. I live in St. Mary's. Regarding the proposed fiscal year 2021 city budget, I hope you all are considering the specific comments and suggestions that I've provided via email. I sent this email with the understanding that predicting how much tax revenue will be collected amid the economic plunge from the COVID-19 pandemic is beyond challenging. In my opinion, additional resources and targeted budget reductions are needed in the proposed fiscal year 2021 city budget. The result of a frugal budget will be less traumatic for employees and citizens alike, rather than later catching up to revenue losses and reductions that are not programmed. With that, I say thank you, and hopefully you've all had the opportunity to review the email that I provided with specific comments and suggestions. I don't know if you have any comments or questions for me regarding what I sent you, but that's, at this point, all I have to say.
All right, Mr. Canning, first of all, thank you for your input. What I'd like to do is, if Mr. Horton, you're there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, so I'd like Mr. Horton to just recap some of the planning that's gone into the budget, and with the anticipation and expectation that not everything will go according to plan. And I'm not sure what kind of outline you have, but I do think you have done some work on that. Maybe you'd like to share, Mr. Horton?
Yes, sir, I certainly can. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Canning for his efforts in researching it and everything, and I appreciate any input he can ever provide on anything. He's always done his research into it. But saying that, we had received the same information that Mr. Canning had and gave us, and we had reviewed it. Matter of fact, the day it came out, we used that as part of our, one of the reasons why it was kind of, we had the hesitation in getting the budget completed. So with that being said, we did use that, but one of the things that we have found was that some of the things that he mentioned, we're not seeing them affect the city of St. Mary's as of yet. However, it can, and we understand that. The one that we are in agreement with was the motor vehicle tax and corporate tax and some of the individuals. We are seeing that drop there. But with SPLOST and LOSS, we've actually seen it maintain its rate continuing as it was. Now, that doesn't mean once we get back open and things change or what have you, that all of that can change again. Certainly, we understand that. But we took all that into consideration. What our plan is right now is we are monitoring the budget and currently, and we'll be monitoring it again from here on for the remaining portion of this year. I mean, we normally do, but we're paying a lot closer attention now than we ever have. We're looking at it on a monthly basis, highly scrutinizing everything about it and waiting to see if there's any severe signs that we see coming down the pipeline that we need to adjust our budget. We have already made, just going down our general fund revenues, we've gone from 3% reduction to 51% reduction to 71% reduction in a lot of the revenues that are coming into us as it is, and several 63% reductions as well. So we're monitoring that, and at 6 months we're going to have an in-depth process, basically go through the budget process all over again to see exactly where we're at, what the needs are, if those needs can wait, or if we have to actually go deeper at any point in time. We're prepared to do that. We are putting together, I guess, a list of cuts and things that can be done to protect the fund equity. So that's what we're working on, and that's the direction we're going in.
All right. Council, thank you, Mr. Horton. Council, did anyone want to say anything in addition to Mr. Canning or Mr. Horton? Okay.
This is Jim Gant. I'd like to just say that to Tom Canning and others that are listening in, the budget process is very precise, and we've been well aware of the fact that we could have funding problems later, but right now it's too early to make that call. But with the constant monitoring every month and the 6-month period, we should be able to catch and make corrections in our budget to accommodate whatever we run into in the future.
In addition to this, you did hear, this is the mayor, you did hear Mr. Horton say that we will be doing a monthly reviews so that if we have course corrections that we see are coming up, that we can act on those course corrections with some of the planning that they have put in place, preparing for whatever deeper cuts we might have to make based on the results we see from revenue and expenses. So, Mr. Canning,
Mayor, Mr. Mayor, if I might also, in regards to like the senior center, the library, the aquatic center, because in tourism, those are being affected. The aquatic center, and you'll hear in the manager's report, is going to be opening up the 12th through the 13th. I'll have to double check my notes. Some of these are opening back up, but we're making adjustments to the budgets to address the issues that Mr. Canning brought up.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Mr. Mayor.
So, Mr. Canning?
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, Mr. Jones. Yes.
I can agree with with everything that's been said, and especially with what Mr. Gant being said. But I want to thank Mr. Cannon and commend him for taking a real active interest in the county in the city process. Mr. Cannon, we really appreciate citizens like yourself, and continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Goodman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to also thank Mr. Canning for his critical and in-depth review of the budget. And I want to say that Tom Canning has succinctly stated a fact about the senior center meal program and expense and other sources for doing this more efficiently and in a better manner than is currently being done. And I wish I could share more about the nuts and bolts of it. That's up to Mr. Canning if he wants to do that, but he has stated it clearly and concisely, and at the first opportunity to do it publicly, because we're running time short here unless somebody else wants to do it. I think he's nailed it, and I want to thank you personally, Tom. That's been a sore spot with me, having been an administrator of those kinds of programs, many of those, and we are making some serious mistakes. So thank you for that, Mr. Canning. That's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. That being said, I would like to close this fiscal year 2021 budget public hearing for the city of St. Mary's, Georgia for June 1st, 2020. I want to thank everyone for participating. The city clerk has asked me to make sure if council is prepared with the second, I think the phone number is the same, but the access code is different. If you're all prepared for the 6 o'clock council meeting. I think silence constitutes everybody's prepared. So I want to thank everyone for participating, and we will sign off on council. We will be back on at 6 o'clock tonight. Thank you.